know if we're going to be cutting rates again. Biggest stories of all time.
Circle of bullshit. And we don't have the data. It's gone. Poof, because they don't give a shit about your sign.
Welcome to What the Data Doesn't Tell You, where silence isn't golden, it's a warning. And welcome to Angry Capital.
Is it data or data?
I don't even know. Data, who cares? I don't know. Welcome to Angry Capital. We're pulling aside the curtain on the information you're supposed to believe. And if you want fewer headlines and more data breakdowns like this, hit subscribe. 3 shows a week, same chaos, new uncertainty. And the official metrics have gone dark, Paul.
Yeah, no. I mean, everything went dark. The government was shut down for God knows how long. I mean, this is all by design, isn't it?
I think a lot of this is, yes, by design. It's keeping us in the dark about a lot of things because I think that the economy is that bad that we needed a little bit of darkness to not show and reflect how bad it actually is.
Oh, you think we needed this? We needed this gap in analytics and data. We needed this as people. We needed.
I mean, it's hard to tell what would have happened here. I think if a lot of the data came out after all those headlines that we talked about with Amazon and all of those people, I think that we would have seen a much more severe market correction. You would have seen that in your pocketbook already.
Yeah, man. This is affecting everything, though, and we have to talk about it. Like, if you're waiting on the headline jobs number, but it's not coming, what are you doing instead? Right?
Guessing again. That's what we're doing.
Yeah. All right, listen to this, man. Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago President Austin Goolsbee says a lack of official, which, by the way, Goolsbee sounds like a guy.
Fool. Yeah. Look at his picture.
Don't be foolsby by Goolsbee here. He says a lack of official inflation data during the government shutdown accentuates his caution about cutting rates. In an interview with CNBC, he said, "When it's foggy, let's just be a little careful and slow down, Goolsbee, slow down."
See, this is my problem with all of these Fed guys. They just need to shut the fuck up for a while because they're the ones who are moving the market here. This is the reason why the market started taking a tumble, because guys like Goolsbee started coming out and saying, well, I don't know if we're going to be cutting rates again. The market wants its rate cuts. It wants free money. So just shut up.
It's so arrogant and annoying. Like, we're trying to afford eggs and pay for things for our children. I don't need to look at this guy, Goolsbee, telling me to slow down. How about you pay me more and keep the government open?
I know. Look at Goolsbee. He's got his little canali suit going on here. He doesn't care. This doesn't affect any of him except generations down the line.
Yeah, and also don't forget, this is a big story. Just happened. Tech billionaire Peter Thiel's hedge fund just sold off its entire stake in Nvidia during the third quarter. A regulatory filing showed intensifying worries of an artificial intelligence bubble, of course. Mm-hmm. Look, let's not, you and I get into politics a little bit, but let's not forget Peter Thiel is J.D. Vance's little buddy. I think that the government shut down. This is happening. There's some ulterior stuff, like we always talk about. We don't fully see the whole picture, what actually is going on.
Bro, what is really going on behind the scenes? I'm going to tell you this. I think that the story of Peter Thiel and his influence on American politics is going to go down in history as one of the biggest stories of all time. The way he wants to reshape the future, you need to keep an eye on what this dude is doing. And if he's selling Nvidia stocks, you need to be wondering what is going on. Because don't forget, he also owns Palantir, who's one of the other top AI stocks that's out there, one of the big performers. You got to watch what this dude is doing, because what he really wants to do is build bunkers down in South Africa to hide from the incoming Antichrist. Look
Palantir. Palantir is the company that, while the government was shut down, was secretly working, getting more of our data against our will. That's what Palantir is doing.
Of course. They're using this whole thing. Everything we just said, they transcribed it, and they're using it against us already. Great.
We talk about all this stuff but I don't want to fear monger, but I also want to be realistic. It's like, what actually happens? Also, from an investment standpoint, for someone like you, when you hear that Nvidia, he does this with Nvidia, what do you think?
Dude, I start worrying. I start panicking because I know, like we've talked about, the entire economy is being propped up by Nvidia right now and the other AI major Mag 7 companies who've been investing in AI. So if Peter Thiel starts pulling it, other investors say, oh, should I pull too? And there goes your house of cards. Now, I don't think that that's going to happen, but I think that's where my mind goes immediately, because you're going to start to see sell-offs. And we're seeing it every day. And also we're seeing it because the Fed keeps saying they don't want to cut these rates because they don't have the data to understand if they should or not.
Yeah. Also, man, we got to follow the money. We also today got to follow the data, right? So with inflation, jobs, and wage reports delayed by the government shutdown, the Fed is relying on private data and their own surveys and outreach to gauge where the economy is heading. Goolsbee, our buddy here, called it flying by instruments, except half the gauges are blank. You know who else flew by instruments? JFK Jr. And it went into the water and crashed. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Amelia Earhart. I mean, she flew by instruments too. Nobody ever found her.
I no disrespect to these deaths, but you gotta be able to see the horizon a bit. And I don't like that this curtain has been completely closed this long. And then you got guys coming out on TV telling us, "Slow down. We're just flying by the instruments." That's like, this is your captain speaking. Everything's fine. The plane's going down, but we have free biscuits. So no, guys, it's gonna just chill out. Have a cocktail. We're gonna crash, but have a cocktail.
Dude, you're joking, but that's exactly what's going on right now. When you talk about the free biscuits, you saw that Trump now wants to give stimulus checks to people from the tariff profits. That's great and all, but you know what that does? That accentuates the problem by throwing money at it. Inflation goes higher. The Fed says, no, we can't cut the interest rates, so businesses don't want to invest. You're joking, but it's for real. It's what's happening.
I don't like not knowing. I also think I don't trust the data to begin with, but with so much lack of regulation and things shut down, like I think that's where ulterior motives happen. Like there's so much in the ether now we don't know. And honestly, there's reports saying they don't have to ever tell us. It was blackout, longest federal data blackout ever. So we're trading blind and who knows what it was. Like that's kind of wild and unprecedented.
It is, and we're never going to get the October jobs data. And conveniently, remember what came out in October? Amazon layoffs, UPS layoffs, Nestle layoffs, all the ones that we talked about, all of these major firms reducing their payroll, gone, never going to release it. And think about what that does to the averages all the way down the line, months down the line. They're purposely wanting to cut that part out of the history record.
Now listen, if the scoreboard's locked, the players start making up their own rule book and the refs on furlough. And guess what? The official data is now lost forever.
Right.
Forever.
Forever.
Forever. Forever. Forever. Forever.
Those jobs reports from October, gone. Inflation reports most likely never being released because the Bureau of Labor Statistics, they couldn't go out and collect the data during the shutdown. So the administration started warning that like any economic data published going forward will be permanently impaired. That's a quote from them. We're never going to have the right numbers to forecast moving ahead here. And it affects all of us because all these magic numbers they're figuring out behind the scenes, this is what affects the price of eggs for you. This is what affects the price of, daycare eventually down the line. It's all connected.
I know. I think that's something you and I talk about a lot. It's like, this is just unprecedented in that we sort of see everything happening. And then this is like, we're blind to this, but we have an idea based on how things have gone with this administration in general, the economy, where we know other weird things are happening when the lights go out, right? So who do you think gains from all this?
Everybody except you and I. It's the little guy. All these people collecting the private data, now they've got inside access to all of it. People within the administration who know when these things are eventually going to come, they have access to it. They're all profiting off of this volatility and this blackout. Secrecy breeds evil almost.
Yeah. I mean, the shutdown exposes how dependent democracy is on free public data, right? Like, this is showing us in real time. Without BLS, BEA, or census outputs, the truth gets auctioned. Like it's up for grabs. I just don't like how long this was. I think we all felt this. It was just so long. So many things have shifted. Do you feel sort of like you're investing or trading blind from all this?
I feel like right now, yes, a little bit, but I think that's part of the problem here is that the entire market feels like it's blind. So they're like, we're just going off of vibes right now. We've talked about this before, like the vibe economy and things like that. They're going off of vibes and the vibe is not good. So the numbers could be good. I mean, there could be some miracle and they would be good. But we're going off of the vibes that it's bad because this is dark, it's secrecy. We're flying blind, and we're flying. This is flying us straight into a mountain. You talk about
Arthur.
JFK, Amelia Earhart. Sorry. Yes, sorry.
Listen, you're talking you're talking vibes like a classic crypto bro right now. You know, you're worried about it, but you're like, you know what, bro? My crypto vibes. That's what you sound like.
But what I'm telling you is the whole economy is just vibes.
Vibes.
It's just vibes.
Well,
Fear, greed. That's all it is.
I think it's another V. It's volatile. We don't know
Yes.
what it's going to be. It's
I thought
volatile.
you were going to say
you know?
something else, but
And this, if the official data you rely on is delayed or paused too, like should markets treat corporate and private sector data as substitutes? And if so, what happens to reliability, transparency, and fairness? Like we talk about this a lot. No one's checking anything.
yeah.
Who's checking anything?
Right. But
Right?
here's the thing, dude. Right now, I would almost rely and trust the private data even more because I think that there is more of an incentive for the public data to be manipulated by the administration right now for political gain. You think about the upcoming midterm elections, a lot of this is just positioning for that right now.
But dude, you're saying you're trusting the private data. The private data is Palantir.
I know. It's
It's a circle of bullshit.
Yes.
Come on.
The
Come
circle of bullshit. That's
Also,
exactly what it is.
If you can't rely, is it by design? If you can't rely on government, you rely on private. Is that what the move is all along? Is that what they want?
Yeah.
You know, a democracy relying on private sector is not necessarily a democracy. You know, it's not.
That is a
true.
great point. But here's the thing. They have been wanting to wipe all of this out of the public sector for decades. Why do you think we don't have a public healthcare system? Because they want the private one to be able to be the ones to run it because it's profitable. They're going to run it like a business, all of that. Here goes the data. Same way. Bye.
So what you're talking about is the alternative data, right? The new reality. So most people say they don't want government in their feeds. Cool. So why are we fine letting corporations decide what's real? Like, why is we now just, the government shut down. All right, this could be the thing now. It's fine. I'm just going to watch Netflix and eat Cheetos. I don't care.
Well,
right?
what else are you supposed to do, though? What if you have no numbers coming out publicly from the public sector, but the private sector is like, hey, we got these small studies. You got to go off of something because you shouldn't be going off of vibes like we are.
Yeah. There's a surge in a lot of the alternative data right now, too. Card swipes, geolocation, web traffic. It's to fill in the gaps left by missing official stats. It's interesting, right? Like, I haven't looked much into it myself, but it is interesting that, we as people, we are constantly seeking. And this is a time now where there's just so much data everywhere. You can seek it out. And maybe the smart investment move is to go alternative and play a little investigative game that can end up being better dividends for you in the long run. I don't know.
No,
though,
yeah. I think that is definitely a movement that a lot of people have been going towards because you can get unconventional data, which are things like Polymarket, Kalshi. Like these are unconventional ways that private data is being collected and people are making decisions on investments over that. We've been talking about for years. We were looking at this CNN article earlier from years ago, and they were talking about how hedge funds would use drones to go spy and see if lumber production yards had too much lumber and they weren't selling it. And then they would short the stocks because there's too much supply. So that's how they've been using technology for a long time to get information and data and give this unconventional edge to the insiders again.
Is this messed up or is it brilliant?
Brilliant.
Getting it
Brilliantly messed up.
Look, you know this better than anybody based on how you do your investing. Figuring out a little move that works best and having a little bit of an advantage. If it's legal, I guess it can work to better your funds, right? The part of me in this kind of likes wow, sneaky. They're checking out what's going on. They're gonna fudge it a little bit. It's like a little, I don't know, guy in the cloud. Is it a bird? Is it a plane?
Right.
Is it JFK Jr.? No, it's a hedge fund. It's a hedge fund checking out how many cars are in the lot.
This episode brought to you by JFK Jr., by the way.
I don't know why,
I like it.
I always wanted to be like him, in shape in New York with the big hair, and instead I'm here with you. But anyway,
it's worse. It's worse than having your father shot in front of you.
Oh gosh, yeah. Dude, we got to talk about jobs because the shutdown has already delayed the jobs report. more critical reports could be held up. Jobs, the shutdown effect on data collection has widened the gap between what is measured and what's actually happening. And what this does is it erodes the trust in official stats. Like, some federal agencies have suspended data gathering, meaning future releases may be distorted or incomplete, knowing this administration is going to go, poof, it's gone, disappeared. Right. And, pushing reliance even more on alternative signals. Like, when you don't trust what you're told, you watch what you see. You just, so.
Yeah. And you start trusting vibes. That's the other thing. That's why, like, in times of uncertainty, I don't know about you, but I'm drawn to things like astrology and, like, if my crystals are communicating properly with the moon. See, this is how you have to tap into alternative sources.
This is the difference between you and me, and the difference between the future generation of crypto bros going off vibes, losing billions of dollars, and the old school guys trying to make smart reserve moves. I think you're representing the hype generation. It's all hype. It's all vibes. Whatever you feel. Yeah. Oh, is a government shut down? Oh, just invest over here. Go into Palantir, Nvidia. I don't know. No, you got to follow the numbers and the data. And we don't have the data. It's gone.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. And that's why, you got to start, looking at all these alternative sources, whether it be private data, whether it be investing via vibes. I do not recommend that whatsoever. This is not investment.
I feel like you're trying to start a new, like a stock market company called like Vibes. We're up or down. We're in and we're out. Just check it out. The stocks are crazy over here.
I think it's the way to go. I think that was the whole purpose of this show, was to brainstorm the idea for that company now.
I want to note, I usually film this show with you in California, and I'm clearly not there, and that's why I hate the vibes. I don't know. Somebody's coming out of me like, get out of the vibe. No vibes here, baby.
Yeah, but, it's pretty brutal there. How are people in your circle affecting to that? What are they talking about? I know you're in the comedy world and the entertainment world. Yeah. Your friends, your family, how are they reacting to? Do they know about the data being missing? I want to know.
No. So, like, personally, my friends don't follow the data as much. I don't think they're probably not as smart as investors. But I do think the shutdown affected, on certain spectrums, benefits that they were getting from the government, and other spectrums, travel, I know, was affected by a lot of people, including me. I was delayed for hours a couple weeks ago. We rely so much on government agencies, and I think everyone was affected. Yeah. And, if you're doing well in America, it was just a nuisance. If you're like, it was like, oh, it's kind of annoying. And then if you're working paycheck to paycheck, it could be really damaging. So I got friends across the board that all those things happened. Yeah. I also have a lot of friends who don't doing comedy and thinking about the world. I don't trust anything, man. It's my job to question power, right? The government shutdowns by design. We know they're doing some weird stuff. And for all we know, Peter Thiel and JD Vance were sitting in the White House cracking up, eating caviar, drinking champagne. Like, let's do this next. What about you? I mean, you guys, how did you feel about this?
Well, I mean, I think that's why I have to kind of zoom out, because I feel like I'm too in it. I'm too in the weeds with it and keeping up with every news update and everything like that. Yeah. And that's the thing. I don't think a lot of people understand, the shutdown affected so many of us in so many different ways. But I think that the story of the data is kind of underreported in a way to the average person, because this affects us on a grander scale for a longer time period, I believe, in that this is going to skew economic policies that shape millions of people's lives and futures. And that's why this story to me is so important. And so many people, I don't think, are looking at it or fully understand how it can affect you down the line.
Sure, it definitely will affect you. I also think alternative data versus public agencies and, from government to private, I just don't trust either. So I don't think, at the end of the day, we used to live in America, and I'm not anti-government here. I want to be clear. I love this country, obviously. We're here doing a fun show, talking about how this affects our lives. We got a lot of opportunity in America, of course. But I've never there used to be this sentiment with government and agencies where it was like, they have my best interest. They're going to help us out. They're going to do things that are better for me. It's not just about the money. And that's eroded. And not just me. We're talking about the last 10 to 20 years. That trust is already eroded. So the shift now from watching the data go from public to private, to me, they're both corrupt. It's almost like the same problem. I just, because what are we fighting for, right? Oh, the government comes back, we start getting all the data from the government. They have all the power in the world to fudge those numbers anyway, and they probably have been, and they can. No one's regulating the government as well as they could be with the data. So, especially when it comes to movie markets. So I feel pessimistic to say this, but it's like, does it really matter at the end of the day where if the data is private or public? Who really has our best interest? It's got to be us. Maybe, like a poly market, we talk about this, maybe we have to start our own public crowdsourced data. And that is where I think I would like to go. Not AI, but if you look at the X's of the world, or the social medias of the world, that's where I go, because you asked me where I go with the data. I follow users, and of course I'm looking at an algorithm that changes my viewpoint, but following users and trying to get real-time data, even Reddit's a great source. Yeah. That's where I go for the data, because I almost feel like it's less controlled or manipulated, even though that might be naive because social media is as well, right?
Right. But I'm in the total same camp as you and looking at all of these alternative sources and things like that. But I swear to God, over the past year or two, the manipulation that has been going on with bots in places like Reddit. We know about the problems in Twitter forever. And I know that these things have existed for a long time, but I feel, and especially with the rise of AI, it is impossible to tell what is real, what are real people posting these sentiments online, and what's fake. And I think that's what starts to skew it for us, because then they start tapping into your emotions. And that's how I get drawn in to making decisions, and you start reacting emotionally and out of your best interest. It's all manipulated. All the data, you can't trust anything, Paul.
Well, yeah, private algorithms decide what counts as signal, right? Like it's the bigger question is who audits the auditors when they're proprietary APIs? Like no one.
Nobody. That's the beauty of like open source software, when you can really see what's going on behind some of these things. That's really the only way. If it's not open source, there's really no way to be able to trust it.
But the thing with open source, I mean, AI is biased as well. Like, it's going to all turn to AI anyway. And I think that's going to be part of the challenge as well. Because is that going to be real-time data as well? You even know, you plug something into ChatGPT right now. We plugged in talking about this. It may pull an article from 5 years ago that supports a bias that it wants to support. I just saw my buddy post the other day about ChatGPT. The New York mayor election, they posted that the ChatGPT told them Mamdani won like 12 hours before he won.
I remember you talking about that. Yeah.
Did I tell this to you? And I'm like, sorry, I was incorrect. But like AI is not there yet. Yeah. So again, it comes down to trust. I don't really trust the government. I don't trust the private. We, the people, the public, maybe there's a way. I don't really know. And the thing is, like, the numbers might exist, but they might not mean what you think they do. And that's also part of this problem here, The data blackout has stiffened doubts about key policy moves. With incomplete data, the Fed's decisions and markets projections become riskier, we know. Economists say that even after the shutdown ends, some numbers may be missing or mismeasured. For example, we talked about the unemployment rate data from household survey may never be collected for October. So when the sentiment survey says recession, but the debit card says spending's up, who do you believe?
That's the thing. It's all, again, a gray area. You don't know who to believe. There's a major difference between like the soft indicators, like surveys, alternative data, and hard numbers. There's just a huge divergence there where we never understand the clear picture. And I think it's partially by design to keep us confused. We don't know. We could be on the precipice of one of the greatest runs in stories in the stock market history. There is a lot of other indicators showing that could be on the way. But see, we're too mucked down in fear to know what's really going to happen. And we're just confused because of all these data blackouts here. But it's like, we're seeing dark clouds everywhere. Everybody's warning about all these dark clouds. The dashboard keeps saying full speed ahead because the money printer is about to turn on. And we'll see how big this thing gets before it all blows up because we had no data.
It's just like I said before, I just don't know who to trust. What becomes your signal filter? I wish I was smarter. Honestly, part of doing this with you is helping me learn more. I wish I was smarter to catch trends and find my own data and be able to act accordingly. But a part of me, like most Americans, wants things to be easy, wants things to be clear. We just want to be able to see things, and misinformation and lag. It gives insiders time to position before the truth arrives. I'm not an insider. I don't have that upper edge, and I don't think most people don't. you
No.
know? And so filtering out what the truth is hard for all topics, but especially here when it comes to the data. The more uncertain the signal, the more pricing power for those who control the narrative. And we know there's a lot of spin in the world we're in now, especially in money. Follow the money, follow the data. That's
Right,
what this
right.
comes down to.
And it does get difficult when, we do think that we have some of these indicators like the congressional stock trading things. And you're like, oh, I can see what Nancy Pelosi is trading. I know that she always seems to make a questionable profit. But the data lag that you talk about, it's like 45 days behind. So you're not really getting those insider tips. So it does become, again, very blurry. And when the numbers don't align, you don't just question the forecast. You start questioning the forecasts themselves, not just your own. You know what I mean?
Right. And the scariest part, you're making big bets based on imperfect signals, knowingly or not, or even worse, you're making big bets on vibes, like my boy Arthur here. We don't want that. We don't want vibes don't bet on vibes, bro.
Dude, you got to bet a little bit on data, a little bit on vibes. It's you got to find out the perfect speedball there. You know what I mean?
If you talk to any economist, you talk back to our boy Goolsbee. What was his name?
Alan Goolsbee. Yeah.
You talk to any of these guys and you say, I'm trading on vibes. They're going to shut the door on you. Okay.
Oh,
I
yeah.
want you to know. I want you to know.
And also I want everybody to know who's watching this. I'm a fucking idiot. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just reading this stuff and I follow it very closely and I'm trying.
You and me both, brother. You and me both. And that's part of what we're trying to figure out. Also, we want you to comment, guys, as you listen to this show or watch this show. Why don't you comment and let us know where you get your data? I'm curious, how do you find stuff out? How do you trade? How do you go into your investing or any money you're trying to make, any money decisions you make? Does it come down to data for you? And what do you think of the shutdown, right? Because has this affected you as much? Is this not as big of a thing for people out there? I'm curious. Let us know in the comments right here below. Also, let us know how you felt about my JFK Jr. joke and Arthur's vibes. We want to know about those two today.
Yeah, how many times did we cross the line here today? I think
Was that too far today?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Let's talk about some key takeaways with the data, though. Monthly jobs or inflation reports. Monthly jobs or inflation reports didn't show up, right? So now we're playing catch up. Delay, distortion, alternative data. Is it opportunity, risk? The private sector signals give you a leg up, but if you dig through the weeds, or go get a drone and go pull a hedge fund move and get the money to get drones and go spy on people to figure out what you want to do, right?
Yeah, go spy on that lumberyard, man. And also always remember that divergence equals a hazard. So when the soft data says one thing and the hard data either says another thing or it's missing, uncertainty skyrockets, and that's never good for the market.
Yeah, and filter equals survival. The smart money now isn't just watching the number, it's watching how that number was constructed or not. Or gone, or poof.
Or gone, yeah.
Into
We
the
smoked
ether.
it. We smoked it and snorted it. All right, but here's the punchline, though, because the numbers that we trust most, they're late, they're messy, or they're gone.
Yeah, man. The smart money isn't watching the number anymore. It's watching who built it.
Exactly.
Right?
And every data set has fingerprints now. There's bias, there's intention, there's profit motive. You pick your poison. So
guys, if you want to survive this noise factory with us, your filter's got to be sharper than their narrative. I don't know where to look, but good luck, right? Figure out where to go.
I know. That's, I guess, the question, the $1 million question here is where to look, because delay equals distortion, alternative equals risk, and divergence equals chaos. And filtering, that's just basic survival right now.
Yeah, and as I said, comment with some of your stuff below. Also, send us your weird proxy indicators, your sketchy spreadsheets, I knew inflation was back because my Uber doubled moments. I'm curious about that. This actually just happened to me on this trip. I got in an old school cab in Hoboken, New Jersey, not only a few years ago. They used to have this thing where you get in a cab, you pay the guy $5 cash, he takes you anywhere in the city, right?
What? For
I
$5?
got in yesterday for $5. We're talking 7 to 10 years ago, right?
Okay.
I get in the car yesterday. Guess how much it costs now?
Wow, how much?
$10. So we're talking in a handful of a few years, it doubled. The price doubled for the same service.
That's still $10 anywhere in the city? That's a great deal.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah, it's a small town. Still great.
Okay, I forget it's Hoboken. Okay, it's Hoboken, New Jersey.
Still great, but doubled in price in just a few years.
Yeah,
Then the guy
This is
looked
not
at me
in
and
the
said,
times.
the guy looked at me and goes, when were you here 20 years ago? I was like, no, a few years ago. And do I look that old? Don't.
Well, here's the difference here. I ride in a Waymo, one of those automated cars all over the city
Of course
here.
you do.
It costs like $40 to go 10 blocks. It's
$40
insane.
to like show your friends you're progressive and you like robots. Like,
I don't know
you
about that. It's more convenient. You don't have to talk to anybody. It's so great. I can sit there in the back with no pants on. There's like not a live person there,
Right,
so it doesn't
right.
matter.
I actually think that's illegal to do weird public nudity things in those. You know what? You could also in Uber just click like no conversation. You know that?
Yeah, but also, I mean, their cars oftentimes like they're just like kind of crusty, and they don't. I don't like being around people.
Are Waymos clean? I've never been in one.
Mostly, you'd be surprised. You'd think that people would
Really?
be peeing all over them and everything. No, they're fairly clean. It's like a Jaguar. It's a nice upscale car. It's great. You don't have to talk to anybody. It turns the air on for you. It's great.
You know why you like that car? Because when you get in it, you kind of can just create your own vibe. You can kind of just figure out
Yes. And
where do I
then
want to put
trade
my
stock.
money. What am I feeling about my money today? What's the day of the month? What year is it?
Well, what you really got to look at is the moon cycle. That's how
Oh,
you really
God.
trade. That's a whole. I'm gonna tell you,
Yeah.
you got to trade by the moon cycle, Paul.
Folks, the stock market's going to crash because the future is going to trade on moon cycles and we're going to lose everything. And AI is going to be laughing and taking over the world because they don't give a shit about your sign.
Look at that moon cycle chart, dude. Just look at it next time.
Oh, God. Comment below about all this, guys. Also, we have this cool thing here. You can email us at takes@angry.capital. If it's wild, we'll roast it. If it's good, we'll steal it. But let us
love
know,
that.
guys. We want to talk more with you.
Yeah, because the data's gone rogue, folks, and it's not the numbers you thought you knew. There's some new ones that you really need to be watching.
Keep watching. Stay informed. This is not advice. It's just two guys trying to get through it with you. Let's, survive, guys. Let's afford groceries and make it in this country. Until next time, keep questioning.
This show is sponsored by Galileo FX, the only automated trading software that shows you the wins and losses before you buy. Learn more at store.galileofx.com.